What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another podcast episode. So for this one, we are going to be talking about we've come up with our 5 common mistakes when starting to work out, or maybe you have been working out for a while and you still make these mistakes, because I definitely do. But so we are going to list off our 5 things and give a quick little example.
Why.
Some reasons, some examples of why they are bad. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay. Well, so number one for big mistakes is lifting too heavy too soon. So lifting heavy is by all means a very effective way to lift, but when you're starting out or you're getting back into it after a prolonged break, lifting heavy might not be the best the best choice for you. You really want to focus on form, focus on getting the technique down to a point where you can handle heavy load while still in a strong position, because a lot of people will ego lift and they'll throw way too much weight on the bar, and then they'll sit there squatting and you'll see their knees buckling and you'll see their ankles pronating and you'll see a million different reasons why they shouldn't be lifting that much weight, whether it's lack of range of motion. But that is number one.
So after I had Connor, which was like 3 and a bit years ago now, I remember my first training session in the garage after, and I deadlifted, of course.
Yeah.
And I remember being so pumped because I had barely lost any strength. I was maybe 40 pounds less than my all-time PR.
Yeah.
I don't think I lifted heavy for 2 months after that. I was so sore.
Yeah.
And just so discouraged about how slow my recovery was. And I guarantee had I eased into it, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
And thinking about it now in hindsight, I'm like, I was so dumb to be bragging about this so much, because it was cool, but it wasn't cool the next day.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I still struggle with lifting
too heavy too soon.
Not necessarily too too soon to an extent. I have a hard time not just going for a max. You know, I mean, usually it's I'll pick one lift and I'll just go hard, and then I'll kind of increase volume on everything else. But yeah, I love lifting heavy and I love to see how much I can really handle. That being said, I feel like I also do a pretty good job of, if my form is truly breaking out, I could struggle through the exercise, but it's when I notice my knees start to shift, or the weight shifting unsteadily, or if I'm doing a deadlift and I feel it coming off the ground and I know I could pull it up, but I'm going to have that rounding of the back and put myself into a more compromised position, I'm usually pretty good at just
You have really good self-awareness when it comes to form, though.
I try.
Yeah, it's way better than the average lifter.
So number 2 on our list is very similar to, it goes hand in hand with number 1. So which is not focusing on proper form and technique. So you see an exercise on Instagram and you're like, ooh, I want to do that exercise. And you just jump into it, not really understanding the mechanics or even understanding what you're trying to target.
Yes.
And that is going to be a huge detriment, because if you don't know why you're doing this exercise, or maybe you think it looks cool, but it's there's a lot of other things that you can focus on better form and technique to really improve yourself overall much more than just jumping into an exercise and hoping that you're doing it right. Like
Yeah.
if you want to do a pistol squat, so like a one-legged squat, you're not going to just jump into that never having squatted,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
if you can't squat
Yeah.
on 2 feet, what makes you think you're going to be able to squat on 1 foot? So like you learn the basics and then evolve from there, branch out, understand where your compromise positions are,
Yeah.
like where your weak points are, and where you're where you're comfortable in your strong points, or like those just like drilled in movements are. And I think like if you can get efficient at a squat, like that's going to have so much carryover to a lot of other exercises.
Oh, big time. Big time. Just that hinging motion, like
just knowing how to engage certain things, how to keep your chest up through certain movements, how to like focus on driving with your legs but not allowing your buckling, whatever it may be.
Even just bracing, like it's all relevant.
Anything else you want to add to number 2?
No, I was going to go off on a tangent that was completely irrelevant.
Yeah, so. I mean, with that one, like we touched a lot on it with number 1, right?
Yeah,
so like with the heavy lifting, like the reason you don't want to go heavy is because you don't want to compromise form.
And okay, I will add a little bit. A lot of people think like, oh, I can't lift very heavy, so I'm not going to get a good workout, so what's the point? But
then there's also those people that lift very, very light all the time and just never want to go heavy because that's
for sure. But I would even argue that those people who are lifting really, really light don't necessarily have great like mind muscle connection.
No, they don't at all.
Like it happens to us so often. Learning a new movement with an empty bar is so awkward. And you load a 45 on each side and all of a sudden your technique is like so much better because doing it weightless or really lightweight is just weird for certain
there
movements.
Is like and I get what you're saying, but at the same time I feel like still drilling with that bar on your back and just kind of trying to focus on certain things is important before you still just throw some weight on, and then all of a sudden it kind of all falls into place, right? So it's like the wax on, wax off with the Karate Kid. He's like, why am I just cleaning your cars? And then all of a sudden it's like, whoa.
Transfers. And I'm agreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just it's like people think like, oh, I can't get a good workout in because I don't have access to resistance or weights. It's like if you just do the movement with perfect form very slowly and play with your tempo or whatever else you can play with, you can still crush a workout, like have an effective workout. Okay, number 3.
Number 3 is not allowing yourself proper rest and recovery. This is a huge one. In many different ways. So a lot of people who jump on the fitness train who are like, I need to get in shape, all they do is want to train and train and train every single day. High intensity training without any rest days in there. It's just like it's all out, it's all or nothing. So that obviously is going to be a big struggle because now you're putting your body under all this stress. You're not allowing it to recover and actually build.
And I feel like a lot of people only talk about like the physical stress or like the physical rest. So like, oh, my muscles aren't sore, so I'm going to work out again. But if you're like dreading that workout and you're just not mentally in it, I strongly believe that you're not going to have a good workout. I mean, some people maybe, but I get so in my head when it comes to things like that if I don't want to be there, sometimes I can push through and have a good workout anyways. But like if it's been like 2 weeks and I haven't had a rest day, it's
Like,
necessary.
Yeah, there's
even if my muscles don't hurt.
Yeah, you might be fatigued in different ways for sure. And then as well, just like prioritizing rest, right? So like actually getting good quality sleep.
Yes.
You know, like
nutrition.
Well, that's a different.
Yeah.
That's going to be a different one. But
Okay.
like, yeah, like getting the like proper sleep for your body, and not just, you know, getting like, I don't know. I struggle with this because I'm one of those people that has a hard time with sleep.
Yeah.
So, you get 5 hours and yes, you might feel okay, but like the body does so much while you're sleeping that it is vital.
If only we could explain this to our 3-year-old.
Yeah. Like it's so vital to your actual like building phase, and like your not just it's not just your recovery, it's your growth. Like so much hormones are produced while you sleep, right? So it's so important. But so don't neglect rest, recovery. It's okay to take some breaks.
Yes, it really is.
Number 4 is going to be not neglecting other aspects beyond the weightlifting, right? So yes, the workout and lifting the weights is great, but there's more to it. There is, flexibility, mobility that you need to focus on. Cardio, like, and this is something that I am slowly getting back into. Like when I was in my more like prime, like fitness, very active, very athletic, I was doing mobility. I was doing cardio. I was working out. I was doing all of those things.
Not all on the same day.
And I was focusing on recovery and rest. I was trying to optimize my sleep. I was mentally stimulating myself. I was definitely reading more actual books, audio books. Like there was a lot more going on. Whereas now it's very much so, it's like, okay, I only have time for one thing. And that one thing I want to do is lift weights. Because that is what is fun for me. Some people love yoga and then they fall into that same trap where it's like now they're just focusing on the flexibility and that core and that balance, and they neglect the strength training. So everybody tends to have that one thing that they love and that's what they focus on, but there's so many other aspects to fitness that are just going to carry over. Like it's I know that having better range of motion is going to optimize my lifts as well. It's just trying to actually justify devoting time to that and cutting a little bit out of other areas.
Not easy.
Because I can't spend 3 hours working out anymore. It's not a thing. Like we're way too busy for something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
So you have to really focus on coming up with a good plan that incorporates everything into that.
Yeah, I definitely struggle with that too.
We were very much the same when in terms of fitness. Like we love working out. You like cardio a little bit more than me, for sure, in terms of like going for hikes and things like that. Like you're much more like active cardio.
Yeah, see, I think that's just being outside.
Sure.
But yeah. Now I see why you didn't want me to talk about nutrition.
Yeah. So coming up on number 5 is nutrition. So not fueling your body properly for your goals or your weightlifting and your actual workout. Like you don't have to be extremely strict where like you're timing your pre-workout meal and your post-workout meals, but it's important to at least be getting certain level of nutrients required for recovery, for
Yeah.
building, for just energy in general, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I struggle with this so bad right now. I'm either like bang on or I don't eat anything until dinner because there's just other things that take over.
Sidetrack.
Yeah, like I'm either not focusing on food or only focusing on food.
Yeah.
I've definitely gotten, so I struggle with this a little bit because when I go to the gym, I am up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm at the gym by 5:15.
Yeah.
And because of certain medication I'm on, I'm not supposed to eat right away.
Yeah.
And my workouts at 5 a.m. when I'm fasted on an empty stomach versus when I get to like, on a Saturday or Sunday, got to sleep in a little bit better, got that extra recovery, got to actually get up and eat something, let it digest a little bit, and then go to the gym. I'm like 20% stronger at least. Like it makes such a big difference for me. And I definitely need to get back there. But nutrition has always been a tough one for me personally because you can eat the same things over and over and over again. Yeah. I can't.
Yeah.
I get so sick of stuff so fast.
Do you though? Like I've seen you eat eggs for the past 20 years of your life. Like
I love eggs. And I can make eggs different ways.
But they're still the same. No, they taste the same. They taste the same.
Okay, that's the one thing. I could literally eat eggs 3 times a day for the rest of my life.
Yeah, no.
Eggs and cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
So Ethan's two favorites.
You definitely eat the same things. You just don't realize it.
I guess.
It's just not, it's because I eat the same things, but I eat the same boring things.
Yeah.
You eat the same things. It's just that you add a little bit of something to it.
Yeah,
whether it's
I'm
just like some
can...
spice and it's like whoop-de-doo. Like, whereas like I will literally eat the exact same thing every single day. Like we were just talking about, like the burritos. The burritos, I've literally been eating them every day for lunch for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I took a break, 1 week break in between that, and before that I was eating them for another 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
So it's been like 5 solid weeks out of 6 weeks that I eat the exact same thing for lunch. And then there have also been quite a few times where I've also been eating burritos for dinner.
Yeah. Yes.
So like I'm eating them like twice a day because I'm just like, it's there. It's like good source of protein. They taste good.
Yeah.
So why not? Like it doesn't bother me. It's just like before, like I would do the same thing with like stir fry. But so it's important to fuel your body. So get the right carbohydrates in, get the right fats in, get your protein in, and then look at your micronutrients, like get a variety of different colors in there because each color is going to contain different nutritional value. And just kind of try to expand that and focus on your goals.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're trying to max out in the gym and like really improve, you need to fuel your body for that.
Yeah.
So like all 5 of those are so important that they're not listed in any specific order of like most important to least important. Like those are the big 5, I think, that you really want to
all go hand in hand.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you want them, you need all of those. So like to me, those are like the 5 big blocks that you really want to set as your foundation, right?
Yeah.
And then as you get more knowledgeable or as you get more into the fitness journey, then you can dig a little bit deeper into each one and see where you're lacking a little bit more. But like just to try to prioritize those in some way, shape, or form is like gonna get you on the right path.
These are the things I wish I would have known 15 years ago.
Yeah, 100%.
Like if you can instill these 5 things or avoid these 5 things,
yeah,
you're golden.
Yeah, for sure. Like try to just try to adopt these in some way, little by little.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be all at once, but like, check yourself when you're going to lift. Like, is what you're putting on the bar a good idea right now? Like what is your goal? Like, do you want to hit 3 reps, or were you aiming for 8 and you just decided that, like, oh, you know what, I think I could do this, and you just
don't be a Stacy,
throw a bunch of weight on the bar, and all of a sudden it turns into like a 1 rep max session.
Yeah, a failed attempt, which bums you out just as much.
Yeah, I don't know. I have good days and bad days. Doesn't really matter. One day I'll deadlift 500, the next day I'll be struggling with 450.
Yeah.
Like,
probably has to do with everything we just talked about.
Exactly. Something was missing.
Yeah.
Before that workout, right? So, anything to add?
No.
All right.
We covered some good mistakes.
So those are the 5 things that you want to avoid. So 1, don't go too heavy too soon. Don't just, do an exercise without reason. Focus on your form, focus on the technique. Don't just disregard it and just load a bar and start doing squats thinking that you're doing it right. Like, really look at how to perform it. Like, watch some videos, figure it out, because that's going to be huge. 3, rest and recovery. So make sure you're prioritizing it. Don't avoid those things. It's not all about intensity. Prioritize the rest and recovery. Number 4 is what?
Neglecting other important aspects of fitness. Stretching, mobility, cardio.
Try to find a program or create your program to encompass a little bit of everything. You can have your main goal. So if weightlifting is your goal, have that as your main priority, but make sure you're still setting time for some cardio and some mobility, because I've definitely fallen into that trap, and now I'm sitting here trying to struggle to get my conditioning and cardio back to where it was, and it's hard. Same with my flexibility. Like, it's so hard now that I've just neglected it for so long. And then number 5 is nutrition. So not fueling your body correctly is going to be a huge detriment, and it's going to throw off your goals so bad. So focus on proper nutrition, get those good meals in. But yeah, hopefully you found this useful. If you did, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and until next time, peace. My eyes look so dark because I'm hurt. No, my allergies.
Oh, I was really thinking about putting some sort of light in that corner. Like, I'm always so much brighter, and it's definitely just because the light is there. If there was another light there, I feel like it would look so much clearer. Wow, you somehow replaced the phone in like the exact position.
Did I though?
I think so. It looks good. Oh, this is already recording.
Yep.